Hey guys, how are y'all doing today? This is Christina from Brush and Bristle Studio. I've been asked to do a voice walkthrough tutorial of one of my mock-ups. I've already got one tutorial for the 3-in-1 mock-up. So sorry if you've already seen that, but if you learn better by hearing about it, this will probably be the more appropriate tutorial for you. Now, if you've bought my 3-in-1 tutorial, this one is pretty unique compared to the other ones that I sell because I included actions with this as well to help people that use Photoshop. Do you have to have Photoshop in order to use my mockups? No, you don't. If you haven't heard, there is this free software on a web browser. You can use it on the go on your iPad too. I love it. It's called Photopea, and I'll show you that later as well. And then I've got one of my friends is a fellow designer. Her name is Jasmina Janser. She owns Sublimation Haus. She is going to do a tutorial in a day or two on how you can use it within Procreate. So check out her group on Facebook. It's Sublimation Haus. It's Haus. I'll try and include a link down below in the description. But this is able to be used on so many different platforms in so many different ways. So if you can't use it in what you're using, just reach out to me and I will point you in the right direction. All right, now down to how to use this. As you can see, I've already got it open, and you want to make sure that this first one is the only one that's open right now. You see this little eyeball? That means that it's visible. You don't want these other spots to be visible. It should come like this, but I'm telling you this because this seems to be a common issue that I get messages about from people who come back later and try and make a second design or something, and they're like, oh yeah, and then they leave those on there and they're like, but it's not working. That's usually a problem when you're using the actions. So if you're not using the actions, it's not a big deal. But if you use the actions, remember that. So now we're gonna open this one up, and you see you've got a couple different options. I'll run you down through everything so you really get a feel for how you can use this best for you. I always like playing with shadows and stuff and highlights. So if you ever think that the shadows are too dark or too light, you can always just go over here and turn it up. You see? So you don't have to do that, but if you want it darker or lighter, I know some designs it's hard to see the shadow, and others it's really easy to see a shadow and you don't want that much. So I like pointing that out because there are a lot of people who aren't familiar with using this kind of software at all. You got to learn somehow. So we've got our tumblers, and we'll come back to those in a second because I'm going to run this through with the action in a minute. And before you use the action, you want to make sure you have all the stuff set up first. I give you options for your straws and your lids. So you've got bent straws, and then you've got straight straws. Now, if you have the bent right there, you've got a special shadow category. So you can turn that shadow off if you don't want a shadow. It'll still keep the bottom shadow over here behind it. Or you can turn it back on. You see it comes up all around there. If you want to do a straight straw, make sure to turn both of those off. And then you can go down to metal straw or plastic straw. And you see the plastic straw is always so hard to see. But when you put that shadow on, it helps it pop a little bit more. So I'm going to go turn those back on because I prefer the bent straw personally. And, you know, of course, if you wanted to turn off your bottom shadows, you just do that right there. Whatever you want to do. I try to make this as customizable as possible for you guys so y'all can make it look however you want. Now I've included a bunch of background options. If there's a different background option you'd like for me to add, shoot me a message. I'm more than happy to try and add it. I tried adding a couple different ones. 'Cause I work with a sublimation designer, Michelle Ray Designs, and I tried making things that would help her designs pop. Like, she does a lot of summer beach stuff, so I thought this would be a really good one to go with her designs. And then she does a lot of sports, so a sports stadium. But we've got those there, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at these. It's the same thing with the shadows there. Same thing with the straws and the shadows. But you do have some different background options here. Like you've got a marble and wood and paper. And this right here are the shadow. I like putting this on here. Like if you are a designer and you are putting your stuff up on social media or even on your Etsy shop, you have to worry about theft like all the time. And if you don't do things to try and protect your stuff, it's gonna get stolen. People take screenshots and upload very poor quality images all the time, and that just looks bad for your brand. So I thought trying to put a shadow overlay on top of it would help prevent theft. If you don't want that, if you don't like it, you can always turn it off. Like with Michelle, we have it on, and then we include her little watermark on top of it too. On mine, I personally put my own watermark on it. So do whatever you need to do. I've seen people tweak these in so many ways for their business. It's been really cool seeing how everyone does these differently. But I would make sure to do it here, like add it here instead of adding it inside the smart object, because then it'll add it to all of the smart objects, because this is, you know, one click. So they all change. Now, if you don't like the shadows, turn them off. As with, you know, the other ones, you can mess with the darkness of them. I mean, only so much. I kind of limited you a little bit on that, but you can always turn them down so they don't have to be so dark. But I don't think they're that bad. Like with a lot of designs, you have a hard time seeing the lines, so you probably still want to include your own watermark on top of it, just to help prevent theft. Now the backgrounds with these are the same as with the flat lay tumblers, as you see right there. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive in with this part. Now, I'll go over a couple ways on how to open these, because I know people have like their own issues and methods with opening and working the files. For the easy part, you can just double click this part right here. You double click it and it opens. I'm pretty sure you can do it in here too, but you go layer, smart object, and edit contents, and it'll open it up too. So either way, that's how you do it. Then let's see, I'm just gonna find one of her designs. So, sorry, I use shortcuts all the time. Let me stop that real fast. Select all. Well, I do Control A and then Control C, and that does select all and copy. I can't find the select all on here right now. Maybe I'm just not seeing it. I don't see it. But anyway, once that's copied, then you can do Control V or go edit, paste. That is sized right. I have these sized at 9.5 by 8.3. So if you size yours differently, you're going to have to resize it. And that's how you do that. You'll do Control T or go to Free Transform, edit, Free Transform. And then hit that check mark. I don't know why this thing keeps popping up. I'm sorry. And that will save the resize. Now you can go, let's see if it's the same thing. Update. That is really annoying me. I guess every time I click on that top menu bar, it's gonna do that. That's really lame. So you can do like one of two things. You can hit File, Save. Or you could hit Control S, which would save. Or you could just hit the X and it'll ask if you want to save, and you'll hit yes. And you see it's gone ahead and changed all three of those. And if we open these others, it's already loaded up on all those. And you see that shadow is so like faint to see on there. Some designs it really shows up, and others it doesn't. So remember the watermark. Now to go back here, I'm going to show you another little thing. We're going to go over the action. So I deleted that, and as I was telling you earlier, you just hit the X right there and hit yes, and it updates it. So now we're kind of like back to square one. Remember to have mockup 2 and 3 not visible. Only have mockup 1 visible. And if you've already like opened up your, if you've already installed your action, then you know to go to your actions. If you haven't installed your action yet, how you install it is you pull it up in your Windows Explorer, in this, and you'll just double click the action file and it will open up Photoshop and install it automatically. Super easy. Now, once you get into Photoshop, if you don't have this little play button visible anywhere, you go to Window and then go to Actions, and it will open it right up. As you can see, I have several actions already installed. And people have requested I make like different versions of the action. So if you ever need any little tweaks done to it, just let me know. I've tried to include them in that folder. So if you see several actions, that's why I've included extras that people have requested in there. If you are going to do all 3 mockups, then I suggest using the multi mockup with pause for free transform. That way it'll resize it for you and it'll pause so you can approve it before it does the resize. So how you're going to use the action now is you're going to click Load Design right there. Stupid thing. Load Design, and then go down here and press play. And it's going to run through the actions. Select the design that you want. We're going to do what we did last time. Hit open. And see, it wants us to approve the resize. So this is where you move it around if you need to resize it however you need it. Then you hit the check mark to accept. And it went ahead and saved it and closed it. And now it's on all these other ones. Now, remember, you got to keep this closed. Now go to Save Design and hit play. So I'm going to navigate somewhere else really fast so that doesn't go in her stuff. And we'll just do Mockup 1 here. And save. Mockup 2. And you can change the names of these when you need to. Hit save. Mockup 3. Hit save. And there you go. You've got all 3 right there, lickety split. That actually makes it so fast. So that is how you use this in Photoshop. Now, I want to open up Photopea really fast. And you've already seen like the main rundown of how to use it, so I'm not going to go into all the stuff with it. Let's see. Whoopsie. I've already got some stuff loaded in here. Now, I haven't figured out how to get the actions to work in here just yet. But you can still use it in here in this web browser for free. It's a free program. And it's amazing because you can do it on the go. Like if you are on vacation and all you have is your iPad, you can work on your iPad. My friend did it while she was at the swimming pool with her kids at swim class. I mean, it's a game changer in my mind. I love it. So in here, it just works a little bit differently. Not too differently, but just enough where it kind of gives a little hiccup for some people that aren't used to it. Again, you're going to want to click on that one smart object. Don't click on this one. Don't click on the layer like that. You want to directly click on this. And you'll see that dotted line outline form right there. Sometimes it'll open with a double click, but I've heard complaints from other people that doesn't work that great. So if that doesn't work, then you can go to Open in Place. And just pick a random one. Oh, well, that did not work. Wrong one. Go open, let's see, layer, smart objects, replace contents. There we go. See, you don't even have to open another thing. If you wanted to open another thing, then you could always go to open edit contents. And that'll open up the other layer. So like if you're having to resize something, you're probably going to want to do it this way. Oh, let me do that real fast to show you because that's something else that's a little different. This is where you're going to want to use the open in place. We'll swap out for a different one. And see, it'll let you resize there. You hit that. And then you have to go to Save Smart Object. You have to do it like that or it won't work. But then there it is. It's on all of them. So that's how you use my mock-up. If you've got any other questions, if you need help with anything, you want some changes made to something or have some things added, just let me know. I'm here. I'm always open to feedback and finding ways to help make things easier for all of you. So I hope you all have a great day and I hope this helped you. Have a good one.